Welcome back to the deep dive. It's great to have you with us today. We're really diving into something unique, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit different today.
You know, you're someone who likes getting straight to the point, getting that knowledge quickly. And today, well, we're offering a kind of shortcut.
A shortcut to understanding something we use constantly, everyday English.
Exactly, but we rarely stop to, really look under the hood. The subtle stuff, the
Yeah.
powerful core of common phrases. Okay, let's unpack this.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just listing definitions, we're looking at the mechanics, the why behind the words.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is the angle we're taking. Our mission, it's not just defining phrases. We'll do that, sure.
Right.
But we're stepping into the role of an expert English teacher, someone whose job is making people's English genuinely better.
Okay.
And our source material gives this teacher a really specific job. Use these phrases in sentences in different scenarios and explain these phrases to English learners.
So it's very practical.
Very. And that instruction, that's our guide today. It helps us explore not just what they mean, but maybe more importantly, why they're tricky for learners and how an expert teacher actually unravels them. There's real pedagogical insight in that method.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you listening in? Well, it means we're going deeper than just vocabulary lists.
That's deeper.
We're dissecting how these common phrases work, why they can trip people up, and why seeing them in different situations is absolutely crucial.
Need the context.
Totally. Think of it as a blueprint for understanding language. Not just knowing words, but grasping how English is actually built.
Right.
So today we're focusing on 4 specific examples. Each one represents a different kind of linguistic puzzle.
Yep, we've got throw away and put away.
Then give a hand.
Enough. Which seems simple, but isn't.
Oh yeah, that one's sneaky.
Yeah.
And finally...
And bring up.
Okay. So our conversation is going to explore why these phrases, what linguistic hurdles they show us, and why that method, different scenarios, clear explanations, why that's the key.
It really is about moving beyond just recognizing a word. It's about understanding its function, its power. That's what makes you truly well-informed in a language.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Right, let's jump in.
Let's do it.
First pair, throw away and put away. Now these look simple, right? But they hide a really significant challenge for learners.
Oh, definitely.
This is where it gets really interesting because these aren't just verbs, they're phrasal verbs.
Oh.
And that changes, well, everything.
Indeed. Yeah, when an expert teacher sees throw away or put away, they instantly know, okay, phrasal verbs. And for learners, these are often a major hurdle.
Right.
Which is exactly why our source points out you need an expert English teacher to really explain them properly, give them dedicated attention.
So what is a phrasal verb, basically?
At its core, it's a verb combined with a particle, usually a preposition or an adverb, like away in these cases. But the crucial thing, and this is where the difficulty lies, is that the particle often completely changes the original verb's meaning, sometimes into something totally different.
So it's not like throw in the direction away or put something over away from you. The away isn't just about location.
Precisely. That's the key insight. The particle away here is transformative. Think about throw. By itself, it means, launching something through the air.
Right, like throwing a ball.
Exactly. But add away and throw away means discard, dispose of, get rid of, permanently.
Ah, okay. Big difference.
Huge. You throw a ball to someone, but you throw away your trash. The intention is totally different.
Right.
Same with put. Put means place something somewhere. Put the book on the table. Simple. But put away. That means store it, tidy up, return it to its proper place for later. You put away the dishes or put away your tools.
So the particle really redefines the whole action, the purpose.
Completely. The intent, the result, it all changes.
That's a massive distinction. I can totally see how someone translating word for word would get completely lost there if their language just has one verb for discard or store.
Absolutely. It's a classic translation trap.
Yeah.
And this brings us to a couple more subtle but really important grammatical points. Things an expert teacher has to cover when using these in different scenarios.
Okay.
Things like transitivity and separability. Now, the source doesn't spell these out, but you can't really teach phrasal verbs properly without addressing them.
Okay, hold on. Let's break those down a bit for everyone. Transitivity. What's that in simple terms?
Good question. Transitivity just means, does the verb need a direct object? Something the action happens to.
Like eat an apple. Apple is the object.
Exactly. Versus just sleep, which doesn't need an object. Most phrasal verbs, like throw away, are transitive. You throw something away.
Got it. And separability.
Separability is about where that object goes. Can you put it between the verb and the particle? So with throw away, you can say throw the trash away. Fine. You can also say throw away the trash. Also fine. It's separable.
Okay, so where's the catch?
The catch comes with pronouns.
It.
Them, her, him. If the object is a pronoun, it has to go in the middle.
Always.
Always. You have to say throw it away. You can never say throw away it.
Wow, okay, that's a specific rule. So it's not just meaning, it's the actual sentence structure too.
Yeah.
Especially with pronouns. That feels like a major tripwire.
It absolutely is, yeah. That little grammatical detail causes so much confusion. An expert teacher has to drill that with lots of examples.
Right.
And this just hammers home why the source says use them in sentences in different scenarios. You can't figure out throw it away just by knowing throw and away. You have to see it used. You need the patterns.
I can almost hear the common mistakes, like maybe using throw away when they actually mean put away because something is moving away.
Exactly. That confusion is common because both involve moving something out of sight, sort of.
And probably saying things like throw away it.
Definitely. The core difference they need to grasp is the finality. Throw away implies disposal. It's gone. Trash, waste, broken things.
Right.
Put away is about storage, tidiness. The item is still useful, just stored. Clothes in a drawer, tools in a box, money in the bank.
So the intention is completely different. Disposal versus storage.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And an expert teacher's explanation has to highlight that difference clearly, using contrasting scenarios. They need to show throw away means gone, finished, while put away means stored, organized, kept for later.
So the teacher's job isn't just a quick definition. It's about painting a really clear picture of the situation, the why behind the action, the result.
Exactly right. For throw away, the teacher needs scenarios like
Okay.
simple disposal, throw away the banana peel, getting rid of stuff. I threw away my old notes.
Makes sense.
Even figurative use. Don't throw away this opportunity. And crucially, the pronoun example. That shirt's ripped, throw it away.
Yeah.
Showing that separability rule.
Covering all the bases. And for put away, how would those scenarios contrast?
They'd focus on order, storage, keeping things, tidying up, put your toys away, seasonal storage, put away the winter coats, saving money. She puts away money each month. And again, the pronoun. Finish the book. Put it away on the shelf.
Okay.
The teacher has to show these contrasts clearly. Various situations, showing when to use which. It's not just helpful. For phrasal verbs, it's essential. You often can't translate them directly.
You really see how just adding one small word, like away, completely flips the meaning and even changes the grammar rules. It's not just vocabulary, is it? It's understanding action, intention, structure.
It gets learners past just understanding the words to actually using them correctly, naturally. Functional fluency.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, let's shift gears. From phrasal verbs, with their sort of structural complexity, to another really interesting category, idioms.
Ah, yes, idioms.
And the example from our source is a super common one. Give a hand.
Right. And if we, connect this to the bigger picture, give a hand is a perfect example of an idiomatic expression. These phrases, their meaning just isn't the sum of the parts.
Not at all.
They work as one chunk of meaning. And understanding them is absolutely key if you want to sound natural, fluent, kind of integrated into the culture.
Yeah, otherwise you can sound really stiff. Or just misunderstand people.
Or cause misunderstandings, yeah.
And this is where that literal versus figurative thing really kicks in, isn't it? Someone hears give a hand and might picture, well, literally giving someone a hand.
Yes, that's a common first thought. And it perfectly shows what idioms are about. The basic meaning of give a hand is simple enough.
Yeah.
Help, assist.
Okay.
But the deeper analysis is that you just can't get there by adding give plus hand. It defies that word-for-word logic.
It's non-literal.
Totally. And that makes them tough for non-native speakers. They often bypass normal grammar or vocabulary rules. You can't reason your way to the meaning. You have to learn them as whole units.
So it's almost like learning a secret code within the language, tied to culture.
Exactly. Idioms are often soaked in cultural understanding, shared history, metaphors, things specific to that language community.
Which explains why the source says the teacher needs to provide explicit explanation. You can't just guess these.
No way, they have to be taught. And give a hand is just so common, so practical. Offering help, asking for help, mastering it is essential for everyday chat. It's polite, efficient.
So, dictionary definition clearly isn't enough. What else does an expert teacher do to really nail this down for a learner?
Oh, much more. A definition is just step one. An expert teacher would immediately give non-idiomatic synonyms. Help, assist, ground the learner.
Okay.
Then, crucially, immerse them in scenarios, lots of them, varied ones, show how it's used everywhere.
Right.
They might briefly explain the metaphor lending your physical hand, but stress it's not literal now. They'd show common patterns. Could you give me a hand as a request? I can give you a hand as an offer.
And where it's appropriate to use it.
Absolutely. Casual situations, more formal ones, maybe even show similar phrases like lend a hand, which is almost the same, but maybe a touch more formal.
I could just picture the awkwardness if someone takes it literally, offering a handshake when asked for help with boxes or just looking totally confused.
Exactly. The potential for, awkwardness or even offense is real. That's why the teacher's role is so key. They bridge that literal, figurative gap.
Right.
They need to explain you're not detaching a limb. They'd use scenarios. Helping a neighbor move heavy stuff.
Physical help.
Right. Or collaborating on a report.
Task-based help.
Or just offering support. Looks like you're busy, need a hand. Or even community help. Everyone gave a hand after the flood.
So it's about the spirit of helping in all kinds of ways.
Precisely. Showing that spirit, showing how normal and natural the phrase is. It's a core part of spoken English.
And it really highlights that leap learners need to take, doesn't it? Beyond just words on a page to how language actually works in real life with all its quirks.
It really does. This raises that important question. How do learners bridge that gap? From literal translation, their first instinct, to the often strange logic of idioms.
Yeah.
It underscores the teacher's role in providing that cultural linguistic context, mastering idioms. That's a big step towards sounding truly fluent.
Fascinating. Okay, let's pivot again. From idioms to something that seems incredibly simple, a word we use all the time, but is surprisingly versatile and tricky. Enough.
Enough, yes.
Yeah.
Deceptively simple is the perfect description.
Okay, let's unpack this one because where you put it, what it does, it can really catch people out, even advanced learners.
Absolutely. Enough looks straightforward, but it plays several different grammatical roles. It can be a determiner, a pronoun, an adverb.
Wow, okay.
And in all those roles, it's basically about sufficiency, adequacy. Is there the right amount? Is something adequate?
Right.
So for an expert teacher, explaining enough means carefully dissecting these roles, showing how it behaves differently in sentences. It's not one definition. It's a whole system.
So it changes its job depending on where it sits in the sentence. That definitely makes a small common word way more complex.
It really does. Let's look at that placement and function, because that's where learners often get tangled up.
Okay.
So, as a determiner, enough comes before a noun. It tells you if there's a sufficient quantity. Do we have enough food? Enough modifies food.
Like enough time, enough money.
Exactly. Tells you if the amount is okay. Then, as a pronoun, it stands alone. It replaces the noun.
Yeah, so.
Like, more coffee. No thanks, I've had enough. Enough stands for enough coffee. Or, we've talked about this for hours, I think that's enough. Enough means enough talk.
Okay, got it. Determiner before noun, pronoun standing alone. What about the adverb part? You said that's often the trickiest.
It often is. As an adverb, enough usually comes after an adjective or another adverb. It's modifying.
After, okay.
So, are you strong enough? Enough modifies strong. Or, he didn't run fast enough. Enough modifies fast. It tells you if the quality or action meets the standard.
That placement difference before a noun as a determiner, but after an adjective or adverb that feels huge, that must be where errors happen. People saying, enough strong.
You nailed it. That's a classic mistake. Because in many languages, the equivalent word does come before the adjective. So learners transfer that pattern. And enough also loves certain structures. We often see it with for or a to infinitive. Enough money to buy the car. Tall enough for the team.
Right, those combinations.
Understanding those patterns is key. Plus, the idea of enough is often subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Enough for me might not be enough for you.
Exactly. What's enough food or loud enough music? It depends entirely on the person, the situation. Which is why, again, the teacher needs those varied scenarios the source mentions. You have to show it in different contexts.
Given all that different roles, tricky placement, subjectivity, I can see lots of potential errors beyond just placement. Maybe confusing it with other words.
Precisely. Placement is number one, enough good instead of good enough. But another big one is confusing enough with to.
Yeah. Enough versus to.
That's a critical difference an expert teacher has to make crystal clear. To means excessive, more than needed, more than good.
Like too hot, too expensive.
Exactly. It's too hot to go outside, uncomfortably hot.
Yeah.
But it's hot enough to swim, means it's reached the right temperature for swimming. Sufficient.
Okay, that contrast is vital.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
An expert teacher would use clear side-by-side examples like, I've had enough cake, I'm satisfied, no more needed, versus, I've had too much cake, I ate an excessive amount, maybe I feel sick.
Gotcha.
Ultimately, enough is just fundamental for talking about satisfaction, limits, requirements. It's about adequacy, balance.
So the expert teacher isn't just giving one definition. They're building this whole mental map for the learner, showing all its jobs, its rules, its common partners, its subjective nature.
Exactly, creating that rich tapestry of scenarios. For enough, they'd show. Quantity, do we have enough chairs? Quality, is this coat warm enough? Ability, is he experienced enough to manage? Proportion, is the room big enough for everyone? Sufficiency, stop, that's enough. Negative, I didn't sleep enough.
Seeing all those really drives home its flexibility.
It does. It builds that framework so learners can use it accurately and confidently, no matter the situation.
It really shows how even a tiny everyday word like enough unlocks so much precision once you grasp its range, how its position and context change everything. It's way beyond just knowing the word itself.
Indeed. It really demonstrates that fluency comes from understanding these interactions, grammar, meaning, context, all working together.
Right. Okay, final phrase for today. Let's look at bring up. Now this one. This feels like the ultimate example of context being absolutely everything.
Oh, absolutely. Bring up is fascinating because it's intensely polysemous.
Poly what now?
Polysemous. It just means it has multiple, often very distinct meanings packed into one phrase.
Ah, okay, many meanings.
Exactly. Which makes it super challenging for learners and therefore really important for an expert teacher to tackle head on. It's a real linguistic chameleon.
And it just hammers home that point again, like phrasal verbs, like idioms, you need the context for bring up. Without it, you could be completely off base. The potential for getting it wrong seems really high here.
Extremely high. Let's dive into that. Bring up is a phrasal verb, yes, but with several common yet very different meanings. For example, it can mean raising a child. My aunt brought me up. That's about upbringing, care.
Right, standard meaning.
Then it can mean introducing a topic for discussion. We need to bring up the budget at the meeting, mentioning something, starting a conversation.
Also very common. Okay, what else?
It can mean, well, to vomit. The bad fish made him bring up his dinner. Much more informal, physical.
Oh, wow. Okay, completely different.
Completely. And fourth, a more modern one is causing something to appear on a screen. Can you bring up the website? Displaying digital information.
Good grief. Raising kids, starting a topic, being sick, showing something on a screen, those are worlds apart. Trying to guess the meaning without context would be impossible.
Utterly impossible. Or lead to really, really awkward misunderstandings. Imagine confusing raising a child with throwing up.
Yeah, not a mistake you want to make. So the context, the words around it, the situation, who's talking isn't just helpful. It's the only way to know.
It is the only way. Which goes right back to the source's emphasis on different scenarios. You simply cannot know which bring up is intended without those clues.
And it's used everywhere, right? Formal, informal.
Everywhere. Board meetings, family dinners, doctor's office, tech support calls, each potentially using a different meaning. So understanding it accurately is vital for fluency.
The potential for just total communication breakdown seems huge with this one. If someone says they need to bring up something at work and their colleague thinks they're about to be ill, or talk about their childhood.
Exactly. High stakes indeed.
Oh.
The misunderstandings could be significant, embarrassing, even offensive, depending on the context.
So the teacher has to address this head on. How would they do that? How do you teach something with so many different meanings?
Systematically. An expert teacher would break it down, maybe group the meanings, child care discussion, physical action, digital display.
Categorizing them.
Right? Or, maybe more effectively, present contrasting sentences side by side. Really stark contrasts. She did a great job bringing up her kids. Versus, please don't bring up that sensitive topic again.
So the contrast makes the different meanings really clear.
Exactly. The teacher would create those vividly different scenarios.
Okay.
Child rearing. He was brought up to respect his elders. Introducing a topic. Let's bring up the sales figures now. Sickness. The medicine made her bring up her breakfast. Displaying info. Bring up the presentation slides, please.
Seeing them like that, back to back almost, really clarifies the different uses. It's not just defining, it's demonstrating the full range through those contrasts.
Precisely. And this raises that fascinating point about language itself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How it can be so precise in one way, yet so ambiguous without context. Mastering these versatile Polysemous phrases like bring up. That's a real sign of advanced fluency. It shows you understand not just words, but how context shapes meaning. That's key for navigating real-world English.
Wow. Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today, digging into the surprising depth of everyday English.
You really have.
We started with those tricky phrasal verbs, throw away and put away, seeing how particles change everything, meaning, intent, even grammar, like separability. Then we tackled idioms with give a hand, seeing how non-literal meaning is tied to culture and needs careful scenario-based explanation.
Right, the literal trap.
Then the deceptively simple enough, revealing its multiple roles, determiner, pronoun, adverb, and how placement and context are absolutely crucial.
And its difference from two.
Exactly. And finally, bring up the ultimate chameleon, showing how context is the absolute key when one phrase has so many different meanings.
World-apart meanings, yeah.
And through it all, the constant theme was that expert teachers' approach from our source, using different scenarios, providing clear explanations. That method is invaluable.
It really is. And if we connect this all back to the bigger picture, what we've really seen is that mastering everyday English isn't just about learning lists of words.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the mechanics, how words combine, how they change, how context rules meaning, how subtle differences matter. It's moving from just basic understanding to really being able to use the language accurately, naturally.
Getting truly well-informed in the language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beyond basic vocab into sophisticated, accurate communication, developing that sensitivity to how language actually works.
So what does this all mean for you listening in on your own language journey? Well, here's a final thought, maybe a challenge.
Okay.
Try to become your own expert English teacher when you find new words or phrases. Don't just look up one definition.
Be curious.
Exactly. Ask yourself, how can I find different scenarios for this? How can I sort of explain its nuances to myself? Look for patterns, look for contrasts, look for those subtle shifts.
Actively investigate the language.
Right. Because if you adopt that kind of curious, investigative approach, you can turn simple words into really powerful tools for communication. You'll get a much deeper feel for the language.
A much richer understanding.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden corners of everyday English. It's been fascinating.
It really has.
We'll catch you next time.